Also, with the Connecticut Clean Energy Fund, we have its Vice Chairman, John Olson. Mr. Olson.
Chairman Caruso, members of the Commission, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here today. I'm John Olson. I'm President of the Connecticut AFL-CIO. I represent 225,000 members in the state. I'm also the Vice Chair of the Connecticut Clean Energy Fund. This is a project that is very important to the Clean Energy Fund. We believe wind is an important part of our renewable package that we have. There's been an extensive process that's gone forward. We put pre-development monies into this. We've also had an extensive process of the studies and things that needed to be done with the developers. We also asked the developers, I thought it was very important, to reach out to the community and the leaders to talk with them to make sure that they knew that they were looking at these sites and what they were doing. Your job is a tough one. This is rightfully where things belong. I only say this, for anyone who's here with me, I always respect everyone's opinion. I only ask everyone to listen. Sometimes we talk a lot, we don't listen. If we listen, we can deal with some of the concerns that we have. I think that's what we did at the Clean Energy Fund, took a look at it, ask the questions, look at it, and move forward. And obviously your job is to do what you need to do. We're concerned about jobs in the state, and we want to have renewable energy and generation in state. And this is an economic, efficient, effective way to bring forward energy and to do that in a way that will help create jobs and produce generation for the state. So thank you for the time, and thank everyone for being here. And for all of us, if we could all listen to each other, we may hear the concerns and be able to deal with them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olson. The chair recognizes Representative Nardello again. She's coming up. I do know.
Official testimony. That was the welcome.
Oh, okay.
That was the welcome. I was told I was to welcome you. So I apologize. It's a little bit different. And I'm going to do this. Normally I don't read, but I'm going to do it this way because I think it needs to be entered into the record, and I want to be clear about what I'm going to say. My reason for testifying at this public hearing is not to stop the development of wind projects in Connecticut. It's about doing them right. E&E Energy has filed the first petition for a declaratory ruling to site commercial wind. As a result of this petition, it was determined that there were no regulations or statutes specific to the siting of wind projects by the legislature. The presumption was that wind projects were likely to be sited on ridgelines or offshore, not in close proximity to neighborhood homes. This petition has forced the consideration of impact of commercial wind on neighborhood projects. Some people believe that wind-specific regulations are not necessary because we have general procedures applied to the Siting Council. The characteristic of wind projects suggests otherwise. Some of the key concerns that have arisen are the amount of setbacks necessary for residences, noise levels, flicker, effect, blade shear, and who is responsible for decommissioning the units. As chair of the legislature's Energy and Technology Committee, I have supported the role of the Siting Council. The Siting Council has a responsibility to hear from impacted residents and research the concerns expressed. The research should seek to consult national experts to provide testimony on appropriate setbacks that protect public safety and the quality of life. Appropriate regulations do not keep wind projects from being sited. 10 states all have either state, county, or municipal regulations, and I will provide them to you, that are specific to commercial wind projects. The regulations vary from state to state, but the most common issues are setbacks and noise levels. Over 6,000 megawatts of wind have been sited in these states as of December 2010. Regulations and wind projects can coexist. As a state, we regulate many things that we support and recognize the needs, including cell towers, power plants, transportation projects. Requiring regulations to protect public safety is a common practice. As wind turbines have increased in size, they have a greater impact on surrounding neighborhoods. It has caused states, other than ours, to reassess how they are sited. The siting of the first commercial wind project in Connecticut will have a profound effect on the entire state. It can serve as an example to all other municipalities in Connecticut and foster further wind development in Connecticut. Or it can serve as an example of how a commercial wind project negatively impacts neighborhoods. If you believe in fostering the growth of renewable energy, you recognize that public support is necessary. Siting authorities must take public concerns into consideration. Siting Council recommendations that are based on scientific fact and objective input will serve both the residents of the state and the developers of commercial wind. In closing, I want you to consider that the development of regulations properly done and taken into consideration the unique characteristics and the needs of our state will help all towns. Forward-looking developers will take the lead in forging a flexible, collaborative approach with communities. Companies that recognize the importance of proper setbacks and show sensitivity to noise issues, rather than ignoring or fighting them, will build reputations that will make them the preferred developer of wind in Connecticut. The actions we take in setting the first wind project will set precedent, and I think you all know that because this is the one that's going to set the rules for everyone going forward. We need to take the time and the care to do this right. Thank you for your attention.
And I appreciate the fact that you will be here as we all listen to the voices in this community, which is the real reason for which we're here. We know that the community comes together when there are issues like this to be addressed. We also know that we want to hear all the voices, and we appreciate everyone, both their candor and their ideas, the respect they share with each other. Given the number of people that have signed up, and again, if you haven't signed up, you may do so in the back. That, as I indicated, we're going to limit speakers to 3 minutes. I'm going to call the first person. I'm going to tell you who's next at bat. I'm going to ask each of the speakers, and I will remind you to spell your last name, because we have poor Gail over here who's transcribing all of this for you. We need a complete record, and for that reason, again, I will ask you to spell your last name and tell us where you live, so she's able to understand it. And then we're going to proceed. I'm going to, given the number of people we have, I'm going to use the first hour to call upon those from Prospect and Bethany who signed up. And then thereafter, I'll be alternating between those who are not from these communities and people who are. Okay? And also, there may come a point where I see if there looks like two people from the same home with the same last name, I may ask you to come up at the same time. We have had instances where those two people don't agree on the issue. So you can imagine how much fun that is, let alone going home in the car. But we'll let you figure that out.